Welcome to the third Yellow end of season award ceremony. Reginald D. Hunter has just finished his set, and we're going to get going as soon as Pulp play us out.
Our mother said we could be sister and brother. Your name is Deborah, it never suited you. And they said that when we grew up we'd get married and never split up. Oh, we never did it, although I often thought of it. Oh, Deborah, do you recall? Your house was very small, with wood chip on the wall. When I came round to call, you didn't notice me at all. And I said, let's all meet up in the year 2000. Won't it be strange when we're all fully grown? Be there 2 o'clock by the fountain down the road. That you'd get married, I would be living down here on my own, on that damn lonely Thursday years ago. You were the first girl at school to get breasts, and mine said that you were the best. Oh, the boys all loved you, but I was a mess. I had to watch and try and get you undressed. We were friends, that was as far as it went. I used to walk you home sometimes, but it meant nothing to you, 'cause you were so popular. Deborah, do you recall? Your house was very small, with wood chip on the wall. When I came round to call, you didn't notice me at all. And I said, let's all meet up in the year 2000. Won't it be strange when we're all fully grown? Be there 2 o'clock by the fountain down the road. I never knew that you'd get married. I would be living down here on my own, on that damn lonely Thursday years ago. It's all over. You've paid your money, you've taken your choice, and I know we'll never meet again. But Deborah, I just wanted you to know I remember every single thing. Deborah, do you recall? Your house was very small, with wood chip on the wall. And when I came round to call, you didn't notice me at all.
Hello and welcome to the end of season awards for the Third Yellow podcast. I'm joined by the same people as have been for the other two, and it's Cam
Hello, thank you for the invite.
and Ben, who didn't get an invite but is still here.
What up, Q?
Right, in the tradition, everyone knows how award ceremonies work. Come up with a list of categories, and then we'll discuss who the nominations are, who we want to nominate. Then we'll have a vote, and that player or
Not how
person.
all award ceremonies work, is
Yeah.
it? I mean,
Well,
usually the
that's how
nomination's
ours
done
are.
in advance.
Yeah, no.
People are invited. We've got no one else. There's no players here.
Well, the invites got lost. Ben took them. Right, player of the season. We'll start with a big one. Who would be your player of the season, Ben,
Cristiano Ronaldo.
in the Premier League?
Oh,
Good
sorry.
choice, though.
Yeah, he did well.
Can't argue against that one, really. I'm going to say Luis Suarez.
Luis Suarez.
Oh, surprising.
Have you got a suggestion?
I don't know. I'll
Cam?
say to the nominees. I guess Suarez is like everyone's choice, which is he's put all the goals in, isn't he? So they tend to be. Yaya Toure is another nominee.
I wanted to go Yaya Toure, but Luis Suarez was a bit better than him. Mainly because I prefer Yaya Toure, and I just think he got the Liverpool. I don't know. There's a lot of performances from Suarez where he was great, and he did win games single-handedly. But there were, in an odd thing with Liverpool, they were sort of more of a team than a Man City, and you did feel that maybe the goal was coming if it wasn't coming from Suarez, even though he makes a bigger difference to that team. Whereas there were moments where it's just, like Yaya must have been looking around, just thinking, "I'd better score," and then he did.
Yeah.
He was a real big game player.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go Suarez that you'll all be shocked about, but I did see something about Man City his goals had kind of made, it's a silly stat in a way, but so I don't know, I'm using it, but it's the kind of the idea that his goals have been more effective in terms of points
Got
won
more
than
points.
Suarez is, because Suarez tended to get 2 or 3, whereas often would get
and
1.
Liverpool were just scoring 4. Well, the City was scoring sort of 6 a game earlier in the season as well.
I mean, I think Suarez's biggest contribution was probably really around Christmas before Liverpool, because Liverpool kind of clicked after Christmas, and that's when they went. I mean, they lost 1 after the New Year, didn't they? So, but it's like Man City was, but he did get a lot of games before then when they were struggling
And
a bit
just
more,
saw, like, goals
which
in
kept them near.
Carling Cup final. I don't know if could you really include those, but
Yeah, it's part of the domestic season.
Yeah.
Like, if you're talking about the league, you
and it is
can't
the
really
Carling Cup as well, though, which
Yeah.
makes it a little. But he did just sort of bang, that's a goal. And
I mean,
then,
I think that was a
Yeah.
big. I think that was a big result for them as well, because
Yeah, if they'd lost that,
if they lost that, potential is to
fall away.
Yeah, I mean, City. I mean,
So are there any other nominees? I think like we're all sort of agreeing on Suarez, which makes it easy.
Ramsey, if he'd have been fit.
Ram-
he
yeah.
was great.
Ramsey's the hypothetical player of the
Yeah.
season.
yeah,
So,
I mean, I think it would have been between him, Suarez, and Yaya had he remained fit, but he didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, people say Gerrard, but I thought Gerrard was very good second half of the season, apart from the slip. And
Do people say without?
But
do
he
people
came.
really say Gerrard?
He came second.
Journalists
Yeah,
were just
he came second.
loving
Come
him.
on,
I'm
And
sort
he-
of,
I
He
think
had
he
a
ca-
solid season.
He
but
came third in the
Yeah.
player. Yes, I know he came third in player of the year, PFA as well, didn't he? I think he was.
yeah,
I-
it's
I-
bananas, really.
he was-
it's because he was the captain of a Liverpool team.
He had
that did so well.
I thought he had a very, very good second half of the season. Almost like I thought he was very understatedly good.
Where did
but
Anelka
first half,
come
I
in
didn't think
this?
he.
Fourth.
But I don't think he.
Come on,
yeah.
no.
I think he had like the same sort of. It was sort of Gareth Barry on a higher level.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
No,
know, I
and that's a
guess.
compliment, really. But like, yeah, he's not my player of the season, Gerrard. I think are we all agreeing on Suarez?
Yeah, unfortunately. So.
I think Suarez wins
Yeah,
it,
I
doesn't
don't-
he?
Yeah.
Don't want it.
Yeah, Suarez takes that. So well done, Louis. First award for you.
Young player of the season, and we're going for genuinely the third yellow actual
Yeah, so
young player.
not
of the year.
Eden Hazard.
Not like Daniel
'Cause he's a-
Sturridge is 24.
It's a newcomer.
How
yeah.
old is Hazard then?
23, 24.
23, I think. Are we saying like newcomer then? Does it have to be their first season?
I think they have to be below 20. Like they have to be.
Well, we need quite a
that is
minute
really
knowledge.
young, and
I'm
I-
going to say Ross Barkley. It's not his first season, but it is his first proper season. Like it's his first season he's been in the team constantly, and
Yeah.
Barkley's a nominee.
I don't know how.
Gerrard come in this one? Sorry.
I'd go for. I don't know. People went for Jan. I mean, I remember saying that everyone was going to go for Januzaj, but he kind of dropped off the radar a bit second half of the season. I mean, he didn't.
Yeah,
He didn't really do
you
a
can't
lot in
pick
the end.
any United player really.
I mean, Sterling's there.
Sterling's a nominee.
Sterling played almost every game in the end and got a lot of
Sonogo.
goals.
Well, that's
Sonogo, yeah,
Sonogo.
Sonogo won one trophy every 8 games he played for Arsenal.
That's
So
a pretty good record.
That is a accept. So we
solid.
going with,
And he made a massive difference in that final. I know we're not talking about the final, but we did make a massive difference.
Did he? I'm not
yeah,
sure.
he unsettled them. That's I've been listening to all the Arsenal podcasts since, and that's what the conclusion is. We don't know how. No one knows how.
No, I wasn't sure he did anything. I'm not sure if he did it in
Well,
spite of himself.
Well,
but
he
did
changed to
do it.
4-4-2. He did cause them havoc. He just didn't put it in the net.
I didn't know how to deal with him. But yeah, I know. I'm not saying that he's really a
So
contender. But I think-
when we work that out, maybe he is the young player
Yeah.
of the season, but we haven't yet.
And Luke Shaw
Yeah, Luke Shaw. Like,
it seems a bit of a.
is a
Can you
dull
have a
choice.
left back?
Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
I did see
Can
someone
you-
describe Luke Shaw as I think the dullest Wonder Kid ever. It's just like there's
Yeah.
ever been a less exciting Wonder Kid coming through because they're normally a winger or
yeah.
like a Barkley that smashes him in and
All
Trying to
English,
think.
these players as well.
Redmond, I know he's probably not really a contender, but
Yeah.
Tom Ince.
he's an exciting player. He's got dazzling feet.
Be dazzling the championship next year.
yeah.
No, he'll get up. I think he'll get a move.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. It probably sounds biased, but I'd probably go Sterling because he got a lot of goals in a team that almost won the league and was for 19.
Yeah, Sterling's he's sort of a rookie as well.
I'd say
First full season where he's been given the whole season.
probably Barkley, just because as much as Sterling had a great season, and I am sometimes accused of being anti-Liverpool, but this gives Luis Suarez Player of the Season because I knew I'd need that as bargaining. It was definitely Yaya Toure. But no, I'm saying Barkley because he dominated matches. He was the best. There were times where he was just definitely the best player by a big distance against good clubs, and whereas Sterling had a great season and he did really chip in and he played really well, he was sort of just part of, for me, he was just part of a team contributing, whereas Barkley, in that sort of Yaya Toure thing, he took games away from players.
Although at the same time, Barkley did get Martinez did drop him for a while. I mean, it's kind of forgotten and all the thing.
Yeah.
He did. I mean, it's
The thing with a young player is it's not
Yeah, it's
you're
hard.
not doing it on the same categories as like if for player of the season, if the player of the season got dropped for a bit, you'd be like, well, you can't be player of the season because it's young. But I think you allow for that a bit more.
yeah. I know.
Sterling wasn't really even the team at the beginning of the season, so you know.
Yeah, no.
If you
I'm going to
can't
say
sort-
Barkley, but with closer margins. Like I think it's really close between him and Sterling, but I'd probably just edge it to Barkley.
Are we missing anyone out? Is there not? We must be missing. I don't know, a defender or somebody. Does
Chelsea-
Lukaku really qualify? I don't know.
I think he did the same season at West Brom, didn't he? So I
Yeah,
wouldn't
okay.
like for that reason.
I
I'd-
think he did have a spell where I think.
Well,
I mean, he was
injured.
very good first half of the season.
I think he would have been up for it last season,
Yeah.
just because he was, like
I
his
thought
first proper
Kevin De
go.
Bruyne after the first game of the season was going to be right up there.
Yeah.
Oh, blooming heck, but no.
Yeah, I
Didn't sustain that
Didn't-
first
did
game.
Michael Johnson from Man City.
God, forgot about him.
Let's give it to Barkley then.
Yeah, I think Barkley takes that one. Sorry, Q.
I
But
think that's madness. But you get signing of the season then. The last of the good awards. Before, we got we've got manager as well, which isn't on the list. But
there we go.
all right, so let's do manager of the season.
Manager of the season.
I'd say Jose Mourinho.
Right, we'll come to him later. But
Well, no, I'm going to say Jose Mourinho. He said we're not going to win anything this season,
Okay.
and they won nothing this season. Like he was the
Okay.
only manager chatting sense.
Okay, the little horse.
yeah, it was
He spent all
tedious.
the money.
I think this is the season he jumped the shark. But
Yeah. All right. So who are the real contenders? Pulis.
Pulis,
Rodgers.
Rodgers, and Martinez is up there probably in a way.
Yeah.
Although I think
Martinez, like Everton finished above United and Tottenham. Like that's ridiculous. And then even in seasons
Pochettino?
where.
How do you say his name?
Yeah, Pochettino.
yeah, I think he had a good season.
Pellegrini.
I know
Like,
Pellegrini's always
yeah.
forgotten about. I mean,
Two cuts.
Just domestic double first
Yeah.
season.
Lost to champions of Europe in the.
Well, no, Barca wasn't
Oh, was
it?
it Barca?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah,
lost to
definitely.
Barca. Yeah,
But it's no shame in that. And
What's his name? Demichelis. My favourite slip. Favourite second slip.
we'll get to the slips.
he. Yeah, I think Pellegrini did well. I think Pellegrini did do very well. But the only thing is the only team I think you could not be finishing above with that squad is arguably Chelsea. It's either Man City or Chelsea.
Yeah, although they finished below United last season.
It's just sometimes for a manager you're looking for above expectations. I
I don't know though.
the
'cause
awards seem to be between Rodgers and Pulis. I kind of agree with that. But
Yeah, I don't know. I do feel sorry for Pellegrini in that.
Yeah,
I'd go. Truthfully, I would go for Pellegrini. I don't. The only match. I mean, they had some bad performances in the league, but the only tournament they can be really disappointed in is the FA Cup losing to Wigan.
Yeah.
Because I mean, their bad performances in the league are kind of negated by the fact that they did the business and they won the league.
Yeah.
They lost
Yeah.
to Barcelona in the cup. There's no
happens,
shame in
yeah.
that.
yeah, no, I mean,
It really does happen.
yeah, I mean, yeah. It's
What do
very
you think
awkward.
about them with just in terms of having all the resources at hand? Do you think like the manager of the season should be?
At the same time, you can only field 11 players, and it is
You can have a lot of choice more than say.
The odds are stacked in their favour.
Yeah,
That's-
but
The only thing I'd say,
I'm not saying it doesn't help, but I think sometimes it is overplayed.
Yeah.
Clubs don't always. It's not always the team that spends the most that wins the league. I mean,
It
United bought one
often
good
is.
player when they.
I'd
won
say it
like
quite
one
often is,
person.
but I think it's more a case of like you can only
your
win
wage
the league
budget's
you're in. Like
yeah. No, I'm not saying Pellegrini's done a bad job. I think they won the league and they won the League Cup, which is, I mean, Man City fans would be delighted with it. But it's just,
yeah.
I mean, look at it. I mean, Pulis did very well, although I think they were in a worse position than perhaps they were going to be in a weird. Cause did any of us predict Palace to go down? I can't remember. Or did we all predict
I
Palace?
think we all did.
Did we all
Yeah,
predict Palace?
Palace
to
were
go
all
down?
going.
We're all like yeah.
The only thing
we all
is, I
predicted
mean,
Palace,
I think
they were bottom of the
I think
league.
two of us chose City to win the league. I mean, that was kind of. I definitely chose City to win the league at the beginning,
Right.
Because I just thought they were going to.
Yeah, so you're going on the expectations.
yeah,
thing.
a little bit, and I think that's
Yeah.
what a manager. This almost.
defying expectations.
Yeah, and I think Pulis and Rodgers were the two that. I mean, nobody predicted Liverpool to challenge for
I
the
had
league
them-
to the final day, and nobody.
Yeah.
And I think Palace were down. I mean, arguably, I think Poyet did quite a good job as well in the end.
Poyet should have been mentioned.
Yeah, I think my case for Man City though is that they finished second, didn't they, last season?
Yeah.
Man City, but they were really,
The only team above them did implode.
but they were really, really on a slide. Like Man City,
Yeah, no, they
last
were.
Season,
Yeah.
they were
The
not
stories of like the players partying after Mancini got sacked and stuff because they all hated him.
exactly. I don't think it was an easy job for him to come in. A lot of the players, he did sign a few players, and all the players he signed
Yeah.
actually turned out.
Should we
Gonna have
take
to
a vote?
rush you now.
Uh,
I'm going to go Rodgers. This is biased, but it has been.
I'm
going
going to go Pulis, but again, I think it's really tight with Rodgers. But I think Palace staying up and not staying up, finishing 11th is more surprising than what Liverpool did. I think they're both just ridiculous things to do. But Pulis because he just had a total face turn. Like he was an utter heel, and now look at him.
I'd
don't know.
say Pellegrini because
I think they're all sharing it then, are they?
two.
A joint award. We only had two of them for a share. We've got to go three now.
Yeah, 3 out.
Right, there you
Make
go.
some more awards.
Signing of the season. Who are you going for?
Sure, wow, on the spot.
Juan Mata, great player.
God, talk about Juan Mata while I think of mine.
Obviously he didn't have the biggest impact, but he's the best player that was signed this season. Negredo,
better than Ozil?
Ozil was good. Negredo was good when he was playing, and then he wasn't playing, so probably not. Yeah, Ozil maybe, but then the price, I don't know, the price for Mata was a lot, but
Osvaldo.
that sounds terrible.
James McCarthy for Everton was very good, I thought.
Yeah, it's a very useful signing.
I like useful players that do things.
I can't think. Who
Lukaku on the last day on loan. Barry on loan. Everton's last day of the season was they did fantastically well.
Nicely.
We just got to pick one because we've got to get a song going. So I'm rushing you.
Nicholas Anelka.
Fantastic. Let's go with that. No.
I'd say who did Sacco for Liverpool?
Not really. No. They didn't really.
Well, you've tried to put Liverpool.
Ben's going
player
for balance.
Every other award.
Ben's going for balance. I'm worried about what's coming later. He's trying to put Sacco in here.
Liverpool didn't really. Liverpool.
Oh, don't say they did it without signing anyone.
No, but I mean the
Aspas.
signings didn't really come in.
Loic Remy. A lot of goals, cleared of rape.
Nobody else.
Pretty good season for Loic Remy.
Yeah.
Let's give it to Loic.
Let's give it a look. Right, this is Smiths.
Punctured bicycle on a about these things. I would go out tonight, but I haven't got a stitch to wear. This man said it's gruesome that someone so handsome should care. Na, 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 na. This charming man. Na, 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 na. This charming man. A jumped up country boy who never knew his place. He said, return to me. He knows so much about these things. He knows so much about these things. He knows so much about these things.
Right, it's time. We've done the best. We're going to do the worst. A bit quicker, but we're going to do the worst. All right, worst player of the season.
Looking at me, God. Aspas.
Aspas for Liverpool. Okay, so
Yeah, no, I mean
maybe that's
his
why he
corner. His corner at the end of the Chelsea game when we needed to get a goal and he passed it to the edge of the area. No one was there. It's the moment of the season.
Wow.
And then then about a minute later they broke and got a second one. Had a corner and he passed it to nobody. Unbelievable. There's enough vines of it on Twitter.
Wow.
Search Aspas's corner.
I'm going to nominate Nicholas Bentner for having a season on Instagram.
Bentner didn't do it. Bentner.
Got arrested after training as well. He scored a goal against Cardiff, scored a goal against Hull. He got some winning goals, but he's up there for worst player. The thing about worst player is they don't have to have played that much, because if
Yeah.
they did, they wouldn't be the worst players.
It's more the disruptive influence, I suppose, they have
Yeah.
on a team.
Yeah, there's a lot of people it could be. I mean,
Can you
is
name
he-
any?
Yeah, no. I was trying to name one rather. I mean, because you could pick a load of reserves for.
There's a lot of
Palace,
Manchester
isn't there?
United players.
Yeah, I know. The
that
one I was
normally
going to
fight
say.
for the
The one I was
big
going to say
trophies.
is going to be the worst signing, so I don't want to say it. But
Okay, well, you could argue like Van Persie's been quite disruptive by all accounts.
yeah,
It sounds like it, doesn't it? It
Yeah.
sounds like he was.
Ben Arthur just disappeared for Newcastle. Like, he had a falling out with Part. It's not necessarily his fault, but
Yeah.
he's Newcastle's main player, and then he hasn't played second half of the season.
What about Eden Hazard? Because he won't fight for the team.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. He's not. What did Mourinho call him? He said something like he's not a.
Basically, he said he wasn't a team player.
Not, yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Pretty
not a team
much.
player. So yeah, the Jose Awards it might be very different.
I'm fine with Aspas.
He's not worst player though, is he?
No, he's not.
It's tricky. I mean,
No, that
worst player.
Oh, can I have
is-
Victor Moses?
You're saying he's worst player. Okay.
I think for just every time he played, I thought he was woeful.
I think sort of this
And I want
is
this to be a Liverpool. I'm naming Liverpool for everything now. That's my theme.
the problem is with this award is there wasn't really a Titus Bramble this season.
No.
It's got to go.
There was Demichelis, but then
But I
he
think
won
that-
2 trophies and was actually pretty good
Oh,
after the
yeah.
Barcelona game.
I actually thought, yeah, and I thought actually towards the end he was all right. He had that
Yeah.
dodgy couple of months. We didn't. All right, yeah. Who are we going for?
Worst player of the season. Who went down? It's going to be one of them.
The Fulham. Fulham signed that Mitroglou or whatever his name is from Olympiacos and didn't play him.
That's
I don't think we can give him an award if we don't know his name. That's my worry.
It makes the engraving very tough.
Okay, I'm going to say Nicholas Bentner.
I can go with Bentner.
I'm going. I didn't think of it. I'm just throwing one out. It doesn't matter now. But I was giving Nicholas Anelka. He managed to get himself sacked for doing an anti-Semitic gesture.
We've mentioned his name too.
Yeah, but that
too
was a
many times not to
celebration
give
in
him
scoring a
awards.
goal.
That's true.
I'm
Bentner's
saying-
fine by me because he was Arsenal's backup striker
All right,
and he did nothing.
Let's give it to both.
Right. Sign,
Anelka and Bentner, well done, guys.
worst signing. No, worst young player of the year. This seems a bit harsh.
Worst young player of the year.
Now I've read it, it seems a very harsh award. Should we skip it? Does it
Okay.
seem like we
It'll
should
go to. Let's give it to.
You want to give it?
No, Samuel Eto'o.
Yeah. Let's give it. He is the
He's not
worst.
young at all.
That's fine by
It's
me.
really bad at being young.
Yeah.
All right, worst manager of the season. Well, Ben at the start of the season said Sunderland were going to be dark horses, and they did finish well. But he said because of Di Canio, who lasted 8 games, and
So
1
8
point.
game Di Canio. Worst manager of the season, or yeah,
Or they said
or did he not manage enough to be worst?
this is
manager?
what we've been waiting
How are you
for.
defending this, Ben?
No, I'm saying
Moyes, that's how you defend
I
it.
got it. I know I got it wrong. Like he wasn't very good. His track record at Swindon with big time Charlies in inverted brackets or like bigger
Yeah,
players.
He wasn't. They weren't having it.
Yeah, they're not going to take him. Whereas
Okay.
maybe the League One players,
You were sort of in. Yeah, he doesn't have
a
the
little
same.
bit in his oar.
Yeah,
perhaps,
yeah. Okay.
a bit of guesswork, but he had a great role at Swindon. Really did well. So
Yeah.
I see him coming back. Don't know, not in the Premier League, but maybe the Championship League One. He'll be back.
Okay, so he's still back into Canio with a
Maybe not
after
as-
some humble pie.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I just don't want to let this moment pass without saying Moyes, because Moyes came. I mean, I think I said on the first podcast, because I definitely mentioned it, but I thought Moyes was the first manager that had been appointed for ages that was going to come in and kind of have an expectation of winning the league straight away.
Yeah.
But actually, at the same time, Pellegrini came in. But I mean, those two were the first two,
So-
and Pellegrini kind of stopped the rot and built upon it. Whereas, I mean, maybe Ferguson got a lot out of the United squad, but there's no way that squad's a seventh place
Moyes
team.
just did what 90% of the country were hoping for. So, like, he's up there
Fantastic.
for worst.
And
manager.
I mean,
Let's say Tim Sherwood as well, because that hasn't been said yet. He's
He-
my favourite manager.
most
of the
successful
season,
Tottenham manager ever.
and still managed to lose more than 1 in 3. 10 out of 28 games they lost. So, but that's
I can't give it to Tim because he gave me so much entertainment through the seat. Some of the comments that I didn't before the Liverpool game. He said, "They said, have you watched the 5-0?" And he said, "No, I didn't want to worry myself too much." It's like fantastic. That's exactly what everybody wants to hear. And then grabbing a fan out the dugout.
I think my thing with Tim is
That he's not getting jobs, he's
Tottenham were
English.
just so irrelevant by the time he got the job.
Yeah,
Because Liverpool, mainly because Liverpool were doing so well.
Yeah.
So he could have got 10 less points. I don't know how
yeah,
that
no,
works out in the
no,
league,
You're
but
right. You're right. They wouldn't have.
it wouldn't have changed
affected them.
anything. So he
Are
could
they
have
in
got 10
Europe?
more, and it would.
they're in the Europa League.
They're in Europe.
I think so. Aren't they?
So they would have missed out on Europe, but then that's not massive for anyone, is it? Really?
Is that? Oh yeah, not in the Europa. So I'd say you can't really count him.
I think yeah.
Yeah.
Di Canio was bad, but he didn't last the season, which may suggest he's like much of the season at all. Whereas, like, I mean, I think the fact that Moyes,
It seemed though with Di Canio that they wanted him sacked after 2 games, and I'd say that sort of pressure also may have contributed to it. Obviously,
Yeah.
there's a
I'm
lot
gonna-
of pressure at Old Trafford. but-
Jose.
Speaking of the relegation, I'm just going to give a quick shout out to Martin Jol for not leaving his job, even though he'd clearly been sacked. They brought in Moulenstein as his assistant for a month, and Jol still waited to be sacked. So, like, that just in terms of managing yourself,
And also-
Jol's up there.
Holloway.
Mourinho, I think Mourinho. I know you didn't like this, but I think Mourinho actually he won nothing. He spent a lot of money. I think some of whilst he's obviously a very good manager, I think this season he made a lot of mistakes. He went to Old Trafford on the second game of the season, didn't try and win, and that getting a point there was everybody else around him got 3.
Contextually, that's
Yeah.
not. They played him at a bad time, I think. I'll give
But then
them
I
that
mean,
one.
in the running
it's
as
the
well.
fact they got rid of Mata and Lukaku
Yeah.
when they could have done with them to win the league.
And the last few games, I mean, whereas Liverpool dropped their points, it cost them against Chelsea, and Man City dropped some points which looked like they were going to fail against Liverpool. Whereas the games that Chelsea lost in the run-in, they lost to Palace, they drew in Norwich, they lost to Sunderland, they lost to Villa. On the run-in, they had an easy
At the
kind
same
of...
time,
yeah.
though, they did.
I think they underachieved.
a few different results, and Mourinho's the manager of the
If
season.
Rafa
There's
Benitez-
fine
That's the
margins.
thing.
Yeah.
You can't. You
They
can't
got to
really
semis.
go from.
Yeah, that's-
Oh, no, I know. But I mean, I mean, at the
let's
same
vote,
time,
though.
I think
This-
Benitez does that. They go furious, but
Yeah.
to come behind
Let's
Liverpool,
Let's vote. Who's the worst manager of the season?
it's Moyes.
Ace Moyes, I think. But who are you voting for?
Yeah, I'll give it to. Yeah, Moyes, you can have it.
It's Moyes, unanimous Moyes.
Right, we're going to go straight on to the Silly Awards now because we
Yeah.
are running out of time fast.
We got worst signing. Have we done that?
Oh, have we done worse signing? Oh no, we haven't. I thought Fellaini for me, 28 million. I think that's Andy Carroll proportions.
I might go for Bobby Soldado.
Oh, he was bad. Yeah, I mean you couldn't. Or Lamella didn't even play and cost 30 million pounds.
Yeah, I think the worst signing. You've got to play a bit to be up for worst signing.
harsh
Like,
to
he was
give
so
him-
bad that he didn't play. So like Soldado is more eligible for this award in my eyes.
Daniel
he played
Levy-
pretty
yeah.
much a full season.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd actually go Soldado. The thing is with Fellaini,
Fellaini was terrible too. I will say that.
he was awful, but without being harsh, it was almost expected that he would be bad because that wasn't the signing Manchester United fans wanted at all.
Yeah, no one was. He was not like. No one thought he
They
was going to be
could.
Cantona.
I think the best thing about that was the fact they could have got him for quite a lot less. About a
Yeah.
week before, and they clearly didn't want him because they didn't buy him for the cheaper amount. And ended up
He was just a
smashing it.
product of a disaster.
All right, so who are we going for?
Who did I say?
Soldado.
Soldado.
I'd go for Soldado.
I'm going for Fellaini, but Soldado's got worse.
Soldado
Well
takes
done,
it.
well done. Let's do some silly awards quickly. We spoke on the first podcast about channels, pundits and stuff. Who was your pundit of the year?
Oh, wow. You've got the best pundit of the year. That's so difficult. Like
Best and worst.
best and worst.
Do best and worst. in
It's
each
Hansen's
category.
last season. So how do we think he did?
Oh, it's the best season yet.
Best season. He should have kept going.
I didn't, truthfully, I got a little bit bored of match day this year and I started drinking alcohol on a Saturday night.
Wow. You have not been doing your homework for this podcast.
No,
Being
for this
social.
question, I watched all the football. I watched Cammy the day after, goals on Sunday.
Oh. So who won, Sky or BT as well? That should be... That-
Sky destroyed it.
Yeah, I think Sky destroyed it. Like, Michael Owen would be up there for my worst... personality.
Oh.
Worst personality of the year. Is that an award?
I thought Owen was fantastically dull. I thought, I thought that was wonderful to
All
listen
of
to.
them. Hargreaves was awful.
Yeah. Jake Humphreys was poor.
Jake
Like,
Humphreys
So Channel Sky's one
I think
because
Sky
BT was
takes
so
Channel.
bad.
Yeah.
Pundit we're going for worst pundit's Owen.
Yeah. Is he a pundit? Is he a commentator?
Carragher could be for
Carragher.
me.
I was going to say Carragher. Not on an anti-Liverpool thing.
I
but
thought Neville and Carragher were very good together.
I thought Neville was very good.
I kind of thought they were. I thought as a act, they
I mean,
were
I've
quite
seen-
good because one was
Yeah.
sort of. I was believing a lot of what he was saying, and I had a lot of trust in what he was saying. And then the other one, I was ha ha ha.
Yeah.
And in that sense, as a double act, yeah, but not as an
As
individual
a
pundit.
soloist.
I thought I'm surprised because look, Carragher got quite a lot of plaudits. It seemed for his
From
punditry.
who?
When
I
you
just-
read the Liverpool FC forum,
No, but I mean,
he does.
But there was that. Oh no, there just was a lot. I think there is a slight inherent bias towards it.
No, I remember.
I've got no anti-Liverpool feeling, and I did not. I thought Carragher was pretty awful.
My problem as well with Carragher, and like it does involve this sort of relates to my bias, is the fact that he always calls Steven Gerrard Stevie whenever they're talking about, and he goes, "Oh, that's the thing with Stevie," and
yeah.
it's really
That's a Jamie Redknapp problem as well.
Yeah, and
it's
it's
an
really
inherent gripe on the
irritating
game.
because even though you know him, you've still got to be professional enough to remove your own bias, and he is admittedly biased, and that's irritating.
Yeah.
It's not his job to.
Although
do.
I thought
Robbie
that-
Savage
thought-
getting off lightly, no?
Yeah, no, I think it was so bad. But
I love Savage.
Ne-
Savage doesn't want to
Yeah,
talk about football. He
yeah,
wants to talk about me.
the reason I think Carragher would be really harsh to put him was he did make points, whereas some of these other pundits just more or less didn't even try. Like Lawrenson and Savage just sit there. And I mean, the one thing I thought let Neville down was this season because his brother was there. I thought he was very light on Moyes when they were struggling for.
I think he just genuinely backed him. Like he said,
I don't know, but I mean, I think that's
In terms
I think
of-
that's,
that's
poor
bad,
punditry.
that is
That's-
punditry.
I thought this was a lot weaker this season than he had been.
That's true. Maybe it doesn't go to Neville. At the start of the season, Neville said, "I've got no doubt in my mind that he'll be a great Man United
And
manager."
I thought, and he
you've got
kept
to have
saying-
some doubt.
And he kept blaming everybody else. I mean, and you say you got to remove the bias, and I don't think he did. I thought he had a poor. I think
No.
on that front he had.
So Shearer wins.
No.
Should we give it to Alan as a parting gift? We haven't got him a watch.
Hansen over Shearer.
I'd say.
I mean, Q saying, "Shall we give it to Alan?" I just said
we're
Shearer
not,
wins.
we're not even going to mention. We're not even going to mention Lawrenson because he's just each year he wins it.
Yeah, he's the one that goes with that. So he doesn't need awards. He's decorated already.
And let's go.
Ripping in them.
All right, so Alan
Knighthood
Shearer.
next year.
Alan Shearer's fine. He's off to the World Cup as well. So
Well done, Alan.
he can have his trophy and look at it on the plane. Just to finish with a silly moment, favourite silly moment kind of
Favorite
thing.
silly moment of the season.
Mine's Alan Pardew's headbutt.
Oh,
I think.
of a David Myler.
You're both looking at me, so I should go.
I can go if you
Oh,
want.
please go.
I'd say just Vincent's hand. Like every moment was a great moment. Like the fans hated him, and I actually think he was right to get rid of Mackay.
How we didn't talk about Mackay for worst manager is incredible.
Mackay should be up there for
The
worst
man
manager.
within 2 months was on TalkSport talking about Andy Murray's tennis. He's never seen a tennis racket.
There's been a lot of silly moments. I don't know. I just.
That might be my my silly moment.
Malky Mackay's
TalkSport and Malky Mackay.
That's been a silly moment
Now
of
the
the season.
the Steven Gerrard slip is probably my favourite silly moment because he didn't mean to do it. It was a silly thing he did. giving Man City the title, and I loved it. I enjoyed it so much.
There we go.
Mine was Bristol Rovers relegation party. So.
That's
All right,
always
well,
coming.
that's it. We'll let Reginald do his second half of the set.
And should we see what we should we give him all the spoilers?
Yeah, we'll be back in August with predicting everything. As you know, our predictions are always spot on. We'll see you soon.
They think it's all over, but it is now.
So who's going to win the Premier League?
Chelsea.
You think Jose Mourinho is the difference by himself?
Yeah. Has he ever not won? And if I predict Chelsea for all 3 British competitions, he will win one of them. He doesn't not win.
I've got an inkling for United.
Express yourself, create the space. You know you can win, don't give up the chase. Beat the man, take him on. You never give up, it's one-on-one.
I think Spurs have had one of the better transfer windows.
Yeah, well, they did well to sign someone like Soldado.
You can't be wrong when
Who you sent for 4?
Tottenham, 6th. It's Liverpool.
love's got the world in motion. And I know what we can do. Love's got the world in motion. And I can't believe it's true.
I can't see Cardiff necessarily going down.
Stoke, Palace.
And Hull, yeah, I think those 3 are the 3 weakest teams in the league.
Hull are the definites. I'll just
got the
quickly
things.
confirm who are going down.
Go on then.
Hull, Stoke, West Brom.
Now is the time, let everyone see. You never give up, that's how it should be. Don't get caught, make your
Juan Mata for the Player of the Year